ain't fashion files, you know you drive me wild. I want you to walk straight pose, you know your style is gold. I want you to walk straight pose, you know your style is gold. I want you to walk straight pose, you know your style is gold. Catch me if you can, let's dance to the runway. We can take these raps all the way to London.
Welcome back to episode 2. This is Fashion Files with Karis Reneé. I'm your host, Karis Reneé, and I'm so excited to have you back with us. This week, we will be talking about the spring trends. This will be part 2. We talked about it in part 1, the first 5. So if you haven't checked it out, please go back to part 1 first and then come back and see us so that we can talk about the additional 5 trends. So let's go ahead and get started. And, we have a little bit of a surprise because we're going to also talk about some emerging designers that we got to see this year for New York Fashion Week. First up is what we're going to call fluid tailoring. We're so used to like the traditional tailoring of like menswear and being super chic and fitted and like fitting you like a glove. But this is a little bit more fluid, but still having that chic tailoring, okay? So think of like something that is super fitted at the top and you have something flowy at the bottom, or combining the two. Tory Burch did a really good job for New York Fashion Week showing how to be able to take tailoring and elevate it to be able to create this fluid tailoring. They had like these oversized coat moments or these oversized tailored pieces that had like these cutout moments. And then maybe the bottom was super fitted and super tailored and fit the model like a glove. Also, something new that I hadn't seen that the way that they did was they incorporated sheer. So we talked about in the last episode, we talked about sheer fantasy and that being one of the trends. They were able to take that sheer and add it to make it tailored. Sheer, like I said, we're so used to it being like flowy, but this was super chic and form-fitted, but also still had like a fluidity to it, okay? Next up is big coat energy. We saw these oversized coat moments on the runway. Coach did a really good job of this. They also did a good job of tying in that old and making it new and turning it into new. So those old classic pieces that you would see like a denim coat or like, which we'll get into later. So let me stop because I'm about to tell on myself and give y'all another trend. They did these oversized coat moments where you could wear a coat as a dress. And y'all know I love wearing a good blazer as a dress. Y'all know that's my signature. And so they show how to create a moment with coats for spring and creating these oversized moments. Lada is another designer that did a good job of showing how to make a statement with your coat. So they created like these statement pieces that are like super tailored, but like a bomber jacket. So instead of them being like so oversized, they were like cropped moments where it wasn't like swallowing you whole or like wearing like a paper bag or anything like that, but created sculptural detail with these coat moments. Next up is Florals Reimagined. I know. Florals for spring, groundbreaking. But florals is always going to be around for spring, so just get over it. Rodarte did a good job of introducing florals in a new way. So instead of like these little paisley flowers, they had like these large floral moments on their fabric and also introduced like grays and neutral tones, but also this nice wine maroon color. There was this two-piece look that had these oversized shoulders and these balloon shoulders with a super little cute crop moment that I was in love with. Ulla Johnson also brought a nice floral moment, but they did it with adding floral appliques to the garments. Similar to how Brandon Maxwell used appliques, they also used appliques, but these were little floral moments that were on like their tops, their bottoms, so their separates had like a statement piece to them instead of just adding florals in the traditional way that we're used to seeing. So again, just like some of the other trends, if you want to incorporate this in, try doing like a DIY. Y'all know I'm a DIY girly. Go to your store, go to your local craft store, buy some of those floral appliques, add them to something, add them to a piece. You can add them to a t-shirt. They would be super cute on just like a basic tee, and add it with some jeans and a jacket, and you're good to go. All right, next up, we have a Luxe Denim. So you know how I almost gave away this trend before when I was talking about Coach? Well, yeah, Coach did a good job of showing you how to elevate your denim. So they took those pieces that we're so used to seeing and created like a tailored denim, or like a denim jacket that is not just your typical jacket that you just throw on or whatever. You can actually use this as a dress-up moment. Maybe you want to add it to like a business casual look, or with some elevated jeans, or throw on a heel with this. So Coach did a really good job of showing us Luxe Denim on the runway. And last but not least, we're going to get into Sculptural Silhouettes. Kalina Strada, remember we talked about them in part 1. Again, if you haven't listened to part 1, make sure you go on back and check it out. But we talked about how they were able to create these sculptural moments with boho. They created these moments that had sculpture with their high-low. They figured out a way to manipulate the fabric to make these sculptural pieces, so it literally looked like sculpture moments walking down the runway. So with this, take your jacket or take a shirt and wear it a different way. Use a button up that, and instead of buttoning it the traditional way that you're used to, try something else. Tie it. Just do something that's going to create something that's a little more sculptural and not the way that you would typically wear it. This is how you can incorporate this trend in your closet. Okay, now would you wear any of these? There are definitely some moments that I could definitely see myself wearing. I probably already do, but let us know. Use the hashtag Fashion Files, and again, you might be able to be featured on the next episode. Let us know in the comments if you would wear them or not. Okay, so I told you I had a surprise when we were going to talk about some emerging designers. Of course, we all have these well-known designers that we know and love, but I always want to highlight someone new that you may haven't heard of before. So we have 2 new emerging designers that I want to introduce you all to. The first one up, her name is Aisling Camps. She creates these pieces that are like these crochet pieces, but with the futuristic vibe. She creates a modern look of crochet, and I love crochet looks, but the way that she does it is so elevated and luxe. So please check her out because I love her, and she just debuted for New York Fashion Week. Another standout is Marissa Wilson. Now, this girl, she has bold statement pieces, and y'all know I'm a bold girly, so I love her pieces. She figured out how to take streetwear and make it luxe, make it elevated so it looks kind of like high fashion. She's another one that you should check out. She also debuted during New York Fashion Week. You can find these designers on Instagram, of course, and their tags are, the first one is Aisling Camps. Her tag is Aisling Camps. It's just the designer name. And then for Marissa Wilson, hers is Marissa Wilson, New York. And New York is just NY. So be sure to follow them. Tag us using Fashion Files. And if you follow them and you comment, tell them we sent you. Here's my favorite part again. It's the style spotlight. I'm introducing somebody that inspires me. Their style inspires me, and I think it'll inspire you as well. In this episode, we have my boy Marco. You can find him at Marcos. I don't know why that's such a tongue twister, but Marco, we're going to have to talk about that because what in the world? But anyways, be sure to follow him on Instagram. He showed us how to do fluid tailoring in one of his looks for New York Fashion Week. I loved it. He had this nice flowy kimono tailored piece in this beautiful golden buttery yellow color that he paired with some denim. So he actually showed us how to combine 2 of the trends in this last episode. So be sure to find him on Instagram, follow him, and be sure to tell him that I sent you. Okay, so that wraps up part 2 of our trends that we saw on the runway during New York Fashion Week that are coming next spring. I'm so excited for the next episode, y'all. We're going to have our first guest episode, and I can't wait for you guys to join in the conversation. Follow us and stay tuned so you can stay up to date on when we're dropping the next episode. Until then, stay stylish and keep that flame burning bright. Bye.
That's a wrap for today's episode of Fashion Files. We hope you found some inspiration and insight from our conversation today. Fashion is all about expression, and whether you're pushing boundaries or sticking to your signature style, remember to make it your own. Be bold, be fearless, and most of all, be you. We would appreciate it if you would rate, comment, and review the podcast. For more content, updates, behind the scenes, and style tips, follow us on our socials at I Love Flame, host Karis Reneé at Everything 24 Karis, and visit flamefashionfiles.com. This show is hosted by Karis Reneé, produced by Erica Clark, and engineered by Podcast Carrie. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your fashion-forward friends. Until next time, stay stylish and keep that flame burning bright.
I want you to walk straight pose, you know your style is gold. You know I'm sitting front row.